I know.
Not sounding great.
Hello all and welcome to RaceOnOz PC League special event from Nürburgring. It is the death race. Now, obviously this is a special event, no one will die, but cars will be eliminated at points throughout the event. So this is going to be quite exciting. It is something completely different from what we have done in the past. We are looking forward to it. I have a few technical things to get sorted and out of the way, and I will be with you in a moment while these cars go around on their formation lap.
Okay. Yep, heard all that. Where's Frosty? Oh, there he is. Good. Coming through the gain.
And hello again as the cars are forming up, ready to go for the start of this death race. So the qualifying event was last night. We'll go through the list shortly as we go for the green light. And that is Groves leading from Max Gassett and car keys. It's a huge bottleneck into turn one. It's a relatively clean start so far. This is a one-make special event, so it is the BMW M4. So we just get this underway. Bit of contact further back in the field. It's been pretty... Oh, here we go. Here's dramas. That was John Slow into the fence. So I am pleased to welcome Lucas Dowd in the chat with us. How are you tonight, Lucas?
Very well, thanks JJ. Pleasure to be here. Good evening all. Looking forward to this one.
Thank you for joining me, and apologies for the dramas getting this set up. But quickly head to the front of the field.
Oh, we got cars round in the S's.
It was Mail who's gone round. He's still around at this point. We'll have a quick look at the replay. relatively clean for the first part of this lap. Well, look like, oh, big contacts. And the rest of the field's done pretty well to avoid that then. So as we wait for this to settle down and for myself to get rid of some of these technical dramas, just quickly go through some of the details for this event. So this death race, as we're calling it, there are certain times through the race that drivers will be eliminated, as that car behind, not too sure who it was in the blue car that was off track then. But at this stage, we've got Chris Groves leading the race. He's doing this quite comfortably. It's followed by Max Gassett and Mitchell Weston. So bring up the position delta so we can see big mover. So Mitchell Weston's the big mover early, with Dean Karki and Mail the big losers early on. So at the halfway point, the 30-minute point of this race, the bottom three drivers will be eliminated and a safety car will be called. So as you can see in the tower, the BMW GT4 is sitting in the pits waiting for the safety car period, coming at the 30-minute mark. So you don't want to be in the bottom three.
Which at the moment is Haggis, Karki and Mao.
So as you can see from the tower, Stu Parsons is in a bit of a battle with Paul Russell at the moment. So he's making his way back through the field. So it was the AM class drivers started at the front of the field, silver class drivers in the middle, and the pro drivers at the rear. So there's a qualifying server, so that set the positions for this race. There was no qualifying tonight.
Where must the pit stop be taken?
I'm going to have to go through and read some of the regs myself, actually.
There's one mandatory pit stop. I'm not quite sure if there's a window where they need to take it. Mitch Weston just sets the fastest lap. Interesting to see how long Groves and Gasser can hold him off here. He's flying.
He spent a fair bit of time in the BMW, Mitchell, so I'm not surprised he's pretty strong in this race. Yes, there is a compulsory pit stop for fuel, so with a 70-minute race, you can possibly get to the end on one tank of fuel. Yep. You'll be a sitting duck for the start of this race. So you cannot take the compulsory fuel stop during a safety car period. So there's a safety car period at the 30-minute mark, and then again at the 60-minute mark. So at the 30-minute mark, if you're outside the top 15, you'll be eliminated. The 45-minute mark, if you're outside the top 10, you'll be eliminated. At the 60-minute mark. If you're outside the top 5, you'll be eliminated.
So I'd assume that they've all started on full tanks because you want to take that pit stop as late as you can to preserve your track position. And I guess we'll just expect to see them come in and just fill up as they need to get to that 70 minutes, which, as you said, is probably a very short refill.
So Nando Latanzio has got the quickest time so far, the 56.5. So he's 3/10 up from Weston's quickest time. There's a nice battle going on ahead of these guys. That's Masterson, Frost and East. Nando's getting in on it as well. So this is what we'll see with the quicker guys starting towards the rear of the field.
And the interesting thing tonight, JJ, is we get to see everyone in the same car, which we very rarely see. So we can see how everyone gets along without our typical GT3 BOP differences we have in our normal season.
Oh, as Nando's just got into the side of East and it's turned him around. So he's actually lost those positions. And including damage with the wall as well. Still moving back down the field. Damaged cars out here, actually.
I was going to say, you're looking very second rate, aren't they?
I've just got on with Stimson then. So he's got a busted front end.
That's just contact between just in front of Lando Haggis and that's Nando again.
There's Haggis. He's got a fair bit of damage on his car. It's unfortunate. He sent me his livery a couple of nights ago. He's left a file out, so not unable to see his livery tonight. He was really excited about it, so it's a bit unfortunate.
The matte black testing livery wasn't intentional, was it?
No, it wasn't intentional. Unfortunately, he's put a bit of effort into it. We're not able to show it tonight. Battle at the front continues. Masterson, East and Frost. And Vanderlai's not too far behind either. So, and ahead of these guys, Weston's... I thought Weston might have been able to catch those guys in front a bit quicker, but it's just the gap's kind of stagnated there for the moment.
Yeah, I was thinking that Rooz and Gassett are they're showing quite a good pace, really, to be holding Weston off at this stage.
It does happen quite often, though, when a couple of guys do get to the front of the field. They're not buried down in the pack, that they can find a bit of pace, a bit of clean air. Battling with a pack of guys.
Weston's just come up to, he's in striking distance now, he's just come up to 9/10 behind Gassett, so it'll be a good test for Mitch.
Oh, there's contact there between East and Masterson. This battle's really heating up here. 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th.
Flashing the lights from east through the chicane. Even a bit of light damage on the front corner of East car, but Frost's car looks like it's factory fresh, which could be important later on.
Definitely, you wouldn't want to spend any more time than you need to in the pits.
No, and that'll be able to affect that aero damage. Oh,
he's lucky to hold
big
that.
dive, Frost.
That was a big dive.
Rossi's looking very quick. I think, was he on pole? I think he was, wasn't he? I think just saw the results.
So, Michael East was actually, well, it was reverse grid essentially, so East was on pole. He wasn't the quickest in the qualifying sessions. Followed by Nando, Paul Russell, Glenn Stimson, Art Mandalay, and then Matt Frost. Just good that this format does throw up something a bit different. So East is having a go at Masterson now. Masterson runs wide. Frost is in there as well. East goes around the outside. They're just so evenly matched for pace. The battle continues. Oh, you don't want to grab that curb.
Frost has got a great run. Looks to the outside.
Vanderlay's just in behind. He's just taken the fastest lap of the race off Nando as well.
Wow.
56.2, so his times are coming down.
Frost has got a great run on East here. Looking into turn one. Moves to the outside.
Oh, there's going to be contacts.
Oh.
And that's Masterson turned around. Not too sure who that was. I think that might have been Schmid who's made the contact there. Just have a quick look at this replay. So Schmid was trying to make a move on, I'm not too sure, I think that might have been fake knee there. He's just got Masterson on the way through. The ball continued on. A bit more exchange of paint. Cars a little bit more second hand. They all continue on.
We're definitely seeing a little bit more contact than our typical Monday night races, but as you said, generally they've kept going, which has been good so far.
The biggest loser out of all of this has been Miles. So he's just coming out of the last corner now. And he's 52 seconds behind James McCauley.
And I've just been watching up ahead, JJ. Weston's just cleared Gassett for second.
Big contact back here, isn't it? Not too sure who that was there. This is coming out of the hairpin. Schumacher S. This is Paul Russell we're on board with. He's coming out of Schumacher S. The cars ahead of him have just balked, I think. Oh, he's just out. I think he might have grabbed a bit of the grass. He's out braked himself. Another exchange of paint. He continues on. They've got Roland Schmidt in pit lane. So this is a bit of a surprise here. Unless that damage is too large.
The rear of the car is looking very second-hand indeed, so that might be the case.
They might have missed something through all of that as well. So up the front, Chris Groves leads from Mitchell Weston. Weston started 12. So he's up 10 places. Biggest mover in the field so far has actually been Michael East, who's up 14 positions. And he's just put a little bit of a gap on Matt Frost. So we are 17 minutes into this first stint. John Slow has gone round Schumacher S. Got Nando just behind him, so that's 12 for 13. He's just, oh, he's bounced over the curb on the exit. Oh, and contact with the fence. Another second-hand BMW.
Schmidt has just exited pit lane. He's a lap down to at least half the field, so interested to see how he gets out of being eliminated here.
He was stationary for 82 seconds then. That's a fair indication that he had a lot of damage.
Yeah, his car looks great now.
Yeah, well, the spare parts dealer for BMW is going to...
Yeah.
He's obviously looking forward to tonight. So Karki managed to get by Stu Parsons for 15th and 16th, so that's the battle for that last safe place, I guess. So if there is a safe space in these races at the moment, plenty of contact and plenty of damage.
Oh, and Weston just runs wide. He's had to avoid Rooz there.
Well, as Stimson just runs wide, coming out of Schumacher S, and it's allowed Paul Russell to move up past him into 10. John Slow's had a moment again somewhere. He's got a very, I think, as we move back towards the rear of the field, the damage on these BMWs gets worse. John Slow's grabbed a lot of curb through here. He's going to lose a bit of ground to Haggis here. But Max Gassett has just lost 3rd place. Just have a quick look to see how East got that done. So best passing position on track is turn 1. East got that done, and Frost got through there as well, so it was relatively easy for those guys. Max just sidestepping them.
Yeah, they had the indicator on down the straight there, so time to let him go. Understandable.
We've got a battle here between Fake Knee and Masterson. Used to seeing these two together on track on a night. See how they go with in the same car, evenly matched. Bit of damage on the car for Fake Knee. It's had a few scrapes down the right hand side of the car, and even a few scratches on the side mirror as well. One thing I've noticed with the attention to detail, I'm not sure if you can actually see this, Lucas, but the exhaust pipe coming out the side of the car, just behind the wheel. It's very odd to me. Is Neil? Oh, he outbrakes himself. He's very close to the back of Masterson. And these guys have got Peter Wall just behind them. BMW does sound really good.
Yeah, you're a fan, eh, of the turbo inline 6 note?
Yeah, it is more in the down changes heading into turn 1.
So that's going to be the loudest GT3 out there, but yeah, I've started to get used to it. I don't mind it.
Have you spent much time in the BMW?
I hadn't actually until I did a few laps in the lead up to this one. So it's still a nice machine though, even after its nerfs. So yeah, I don't know. I might. It's definitely on the consideration list for next season for sure. Have you had a run in it, JJ?
I've done a few laps on PC in it. I've done a couple laps on it on console. It is very different on console. It seems as though it's actually broken on console with the latest update. For example,
too fast?
No, the actual opposite. It's actually too slow. So it's no quicker than any of the existing cars. It's a report I've got from some of the guys doing testing on it.
But no slower?
It is.
That's okay.
It's slower than the other cars.
Slower.
Oh, as Masterson's had a drama here. And that is coming out of the chicane. And he's got huge damage on the front of that car. I was actually watching. Oh, he's that's very unfortunate. That's big damage too. He's 6 minutes away from the change, and he's had to pit.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. He was having a good run Wally up till then too.
So that was Masterson, not Wally. So I was watching Wally at the time. Oh, sorry.
Right.
It is Wally Masterson.
Yep.
I was actually on board with Peter Wall. That's how I missed that one at the time. So he's going to have a long pit stop. As Karki's going round as well, he's going to hold on to 14th position.
At the front, Weston's right on the back of Rooz now, and he needs to clear him because East is ranging up behind quite quickly.
So just watching Karki have a moment. Oh, he got the fence too. Just a bit more damage to that BMW. That was at turn 2. So Groves has done very well to hold Weston behind him for 25 minutes of this race. So there'll be a couple laps in until the first cull. First deaths of these BMWs. Well, with the damage some of these have had, it might be a case that some of them need to be put down.
Weston tries around the outside at turn 1. Can't get it done. Yeah, Grove's having a great run. I think he's on the reserve lift for Monday, so we might see him in action fairly soon.
He has actually driven. He has raced. He's raced raced last Monday, and he's looked solid. I think he was at the front of AM class, so he's obviously missed the first couple of races, but he's doing a good job of keeping these guys behind him. He has blocked, but he hasn't run wide, hasn't outbraked himself. He's been doing it quite well. What he'll be hoping for is Eastern Frost start having a lunge at Western.
Absolutely. Rather unsurprising, it looks like East is starting to get his head around this M4. He's starting to look very, very quick.
West runs a bit wide at the last turn. He's given East a bit of a sniff here. He's got a block for him.
He runs him right over. Oh, no overlap. That's okay.
Paul Russell is pitting. Paul Russell is in the pits. As East, is there going to be contact here? Very slight. Oh, it's going to give Frost a sniff here. There's a lot of blocking amongst these guys.
He comes out of it. That was very gentlemanly from Frosty. Meanwhile, Groves, he's still getting it done out front.
Yep, eyes forward. Just run your lines, hold the guys up when you can, block when you need to. It's a big moment there for...
Yeah, he grabs the sand and gets it sideways out of the S's.
Behind these guys, we've got Art Vanderlee's out on his own by about 6 seconds over Max Gassett. Max Gassett has got Fake Knee, Wall, Stimpson and Latanzio all very, very close. As Russell has obviously had to deal with some damage. He's just come out of the pits.
Which is maybe not a bad move. You know, Paul knew he wouldn't be the bottom three with pitting. He's been able to basically, you know, get a new car and fix all that damage. See the safety car bring everyone back together, so maybe not the worst strategy point. As we said earlier, if you got a clean car, you're doing better than most. If we have another car around the Shoemaker S's, Cooley.
So it's actually not the bottom three cars that get knocked out. It's actually anyone outside the bottom 15.
Right. So we know the rules.
So, but Russell's pit stop was very, very long. That was... So for context... 17th now. Wally Masterson's stop time was 100 seconds. Roland Schmid's was 82, so both of them had damage. Paul Russell's for 52 seconds. That's stop time. So they've all had a lot of damage, those guys. As Stu Parson pits...
I'm not really understanding this pitting, if I'm totally honest.
They're pitting for damage. That's the only thing I can think of.
The car's undrivable. I'm not quite sure how that's a viable strategy option.
Mercy pit stop, I think it might have been. It's just behind these guys. There's quite a big battle going on between Max Gassett, Fake Knee. Peter Walls just looks like he's about to get by on Gassett. Stimpson's in there as well. And Nando's not far behind either. As Gassett pits and so does Nando. As at the front of the field, there's been some...
Safety cars on track.
This is the safety car, so... So we just track the safety car. I was under the impression cars weren't able to pit during the safety car.
Certainly a lot of dived in. Was that prior to when the safety car was out? It didn't look like it, did it?
It didn't look like it.
In the lane we have Matheson, Latanzio, Gassett, Parsons, Slow. One thing I'm thinking possibly, JJ, is they're not serving their mandatory pit stop, but they are pitting for damage.
That I'm just reading through the rules to see if I can catch anything here, but it does seem like that's the case. So the pits are open during safety car periods, so
So we're wrong on all counts, are we?
wrong on all counts. There we go.
That's a bit of a theme for us this evening.
It is.
We'll have this sorted out by the end of the race.
I'm sure we will.
We've had Roland Schmidt pull over off the track.
That's because he's probably been murdered.
Of course, yes.
There we go. He's gone.
So who have we lost?
Schmidt.
Masterson and Russell?
They're still in there so
Possibly.
far. So maybe it is only the three that they're losing at this point.
This is the first lap readies in that all season.
That's actually very funny, and it's very harsh on Reedy.
He's got to keep this on track too, doesn't he? Big safety car.
He does, yes. So at this stage, the only car we've lost is Schmidt.
There is a disqualify against Mal and Russell. So I'm thinking that they've been eliminated.
That would make sense, yes. So
I think maybe Roland Schmidt, he might have just pulled the pin before that happened.
yeah, so Masterson and Russell are on the pits. Mail. There we go. So those couple of cars, eliminated cars, are now leaving. Straight to the morgue. Just waiting for the rest of the field to catch up before we get this one back underway again.
And I think it's worth mentioning that Rooz is he's led half this race now, really, which is a superb effort for an AM.
Oh, it is a great effort. He has showed form, similarly to Haggis and Gutierrez. Probably should be in a higher place class, but still got to have a bit of racecraft and Groves definitely does. He showed that in the last 5 minutes, holding Weston off, and then the group of cars behind him.
That's right. So he might be able to keep this going for after the restart.
Because with that, so Frost is going to the back of the field. He's done his pit stop. So he was the only one battling at the front. So here, the safety car takes off. We'll head to the pits. And Groves has got the field. So this is it. Groves takes off. Weston behind him, and he's still be looking for a chance to pass. Straight up, I think.
Absolutely, I think Mitch Wheezy Weston's going to have his hands full here.
It's fake knee in fourth. Or Groves just runs wide at turn one. Holds his line into two. On East and West to make contact. East is going to look up the inside. He gets the job done. Well done, East. He's got the move done on Western. Further back, we've had contact between Slow and Macaulay. Groves still holds on to the first place here. It's getting pretty tight amongst these guys. There's a bit more pressure on Groves at the start of this one than it was at the start of the race.
I think East will apply the blowtorch here pretty quickly. We're looking for a pass into turn one.
Got Fake Knee just getting into this battle as well. Peter Wall's not far behind either. So turn one, you reckon? Oh, Groves has struggled to get the car turned in at the lap. Struggle to get on the power. He's run them to the fence.
It's probably close enough for a dive here. Looks to the outside.
Oh, Groves grabbed a bit of grass. He's done that well, actually. He's kept the position.
Very well.
And Weston's going to look up the inside, so he's going to make them.
Wow. Oh, he's right out sideways.
He's done what East did to him. So
Yes,
this gives
done.
Fake Knee a bit of a sniff here. Wall just
Great.
behind him.
I was keeping an eye on Mitch there, and he was right in behind East, and I thought just tuck in behind him and follow him, but he's gone one better and gone straight back past him.
It's a great bit of driving. Nothing like a safety car period to make things a bit more exciting. Oh, Mail is so he's out of the race, and he's just gone into the chat and told us that he started on 10 litres of fuel and not 100. This is why he had to pit early.
Oh, jeez. We've all been there, we've all done it. Left the qualifying setup on.
You just don't think it's a special event. Even more so, you don't really think about it. Max Gassett and Frost are in a battle.
Well, the best thing to do in that situation is just enjoy that few laps of having 90 litres less than everyone else, and then accept your time's up.
Oh, there's a lot of room given to these guys further back. Oh, almost 3 wide heading to the chicane.
Oh, there's a car backwards on the outside there.
That was Khaki. Khaki's got going again. This is coming out. Oh, this Nando and Khaki were pretty tight, and there's contact between these guys heading into the chicane. And yeah, that was an unfortunate incident between those two then.
There's a change up at the front. We've got Groves back to 4th now. Mitch Weston's our new leader, East right behind.
Have a quick look at the replay of this, where this move's got done. Oh, apologies, it was back before this, so it was while we're watching the replay with Khaki, we missed that one. Still a long train of cars here, so that's 5 seconds covering. 5-6 seconds covering the first 7 cars. So Haggis is in the back of this battle as well. So he's another. It was AM class. He's just been moved up into silver. It's probably where he should be. And that black BMW still has bits of damage on the front of it. So with these cars ahead needing to pit, provided Nando can stay within the group that needs to, that doesn't get eliminated, it's in a pretty strong position actually.
He's got the, okay, yeah, so they've all got their mandatory pit stop out of the way now, don't they? Yeah, so he's the effective leader of the cars that have got that done. And I think he's got all his damage repaired too, because I was looking at his car and it looks in pretty good nick.
Well, he did make contact with Khaki at that incident at the chicane.
Okay.
I just don't think the damage stands out quite as well as the damage on a black BMW ahead of him.
Nando is one of the guys in this field I'm looking at. He's had a tough time getting along with his Mercedes AMG in the normal season, but he seems to be taking a liking to this M4. He looks quite fast.
Just back behind those guys, Frost has just got by Max Gassett, so it's taking him a couple of laps to get that. So it's a good battle between those guys. They've made contact a couple of times.
Did we see Vanderlei in the pit lane? Because I'm surprised he's down in 11th.
He did pit, so he's back behind Max Gassett at the moment.
He's looking to find a way past.
For some reason, Vanderlei is shown as having the quickest lap, but in my record it's showing it as a 57.1. Pretty sure he ended up with a 56 somewhere along the line. He's in a battle with Max Gassett through Schumacher S. Gassett is making that BMW very, very wide.
He's another name. He's mixing it with some big names here. He's showing quite good pace.
Doing a good job of blocking, but the lap times are 3 seconds slower than Weston at the front. It's a hard circuit to pass on. He's taking a lot of curb at the chicane. Vanderlei gets up the inside. And that's John Slow just behind them then as well.
Weston 4/10 quicker than East on that last lap, so he's just pulled that gap out just over a second.
Weston does have pace in this this BMW. He was one that was a little bit devastated when it was banned for the season.
Yes, me and Mitch spent a lot of time in DMs talking all things racing, I declare, and this is just what Mitch needs. Actually, he's got the class of the field arguably behind him in East this season, so just running with him here and trying to keep behind is going to be a good thing, I think, for Mitch here. See if he can keep him back there.
It's also a good thing for Fakeney to be up into third there as well. He's
hanging with him, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. So he was a second slower than Western on that previous lap, but he's the quickest out of those next few cars. So we've just had someone drop out.
Gassett, Karki and Slow all disqualified.
As yes, the 45-minute mark. So where's the next? So Vanderlai's at the back of this group of cars.
So Vanderlei must have just got that pass done on Gassett in time.
It would have been very, very close. Very close. As the new fastest lap from Matt Frost with 56 flats, and he's got some clean air. He's he'll show us what his form is. So I was waiting for a safety car, but there was no safety car for that period then. So the 60-minute mark, there'll be the second safety car period. And then there will be a 10-minute dash amongst the top 5. So that's where you want to be. You want to be in the top 5. So if guys are starting with 100 litres, it'll be pretty close to that 100 litres being gone at the 60-minute mark.
Yeah, that's it. Are they going to have to pit by then or not? That's the question.
It would very much make it interesting amongst these cars.
It might well get you into the top 5 and avoid elimination, but you're going to have to pit within that final 10-minute window.
That is correct. So you'd want to have your pit stop done and dusted before that last 10 minutes to have a clean run to the finish. Which really, that plays into the hands of Nando, Frost and Vanderlei because this pack is so tight. So these guys might have done a bit of a strategy masterstroke here.
So if you're someone like East or Western, can you pit now and avoid elimination? And be in that last safety car with good pace and get back to the front.
As Haggis pits now, some of them are sporting damage as well, so do you get that damage fixed at this point? Or is that a no, and you accidentally leave that on? As Nando has a moment at turn 1, or is he just let Stimson go? I don't know if there's a bit of contact between those two, nothing flashed up for me.
I think you're right. This is going to be an interesting play now for these leaders because Vanderlei's the last car on track and he's not more than 20 or 30 seconds behind the leaders, I would have thought.
Doesn't quite tell us. So there's second difference in lap time between those guys. But there's quite a nice battle brewing between Nando and Stimson here. It's like Nando's going to get him. Does too. It's a good pass in the end. Just wonder if there's a bit of contact between those two because it looked as though
I think Stimson just caught the curve through the S's there and skipped sideways on him. I think that's all there was. Frost has got a good run on him.
Frost has got tons of pace here. Very fresh looking BMW as well. And he was very patient getting past these guys a bit earlier. I also wonder if these guys might have taken tyres. If you're pitting during safety car, or just before the safety car.
Well, if you've got to fix the damage, you might as well. So quite possibly.
So his quickest time is half a second quicker than anyone else. His fake knee pits. Yeah, Stimson just looks like he's struggling a bit, especially with that damage.
Very much liking Glenn Stimson's choice of livery there. That looks like colours very close to my heart.
Didn't realise you're an Essendon fan.
I am indeed.
Don't know if I'm going to allow you back in the commentary box again.
Let's not go there. We haven't even got to round one yet.
Oh, it's all right, mate. I'm a West Australian, so I'm an Eagles fan, and I might just put this season in the kitchen cupboard with the wooden spoon. Straight up, thanks.
I was in Perth on Saturday and Sunday. Went back 20 years for a day.
Yeah, well, I was hoping to be able to head back home the next few months for see family again. But they've got more COVID than we do, so I might be sticking around here for a bit longer.
Yeah, it didn't seem too bad. Just checking codes on masks was still a thing, but other than that, it seemed okay.
Six and a half minutes to go until the next elimination period. And Frost is catching Nando. Quite a lot of pace here. Nando has a big moment. He's grabbed the sand coming out of the last turn.
That's
a bit of commentator's curse in that one.
I reckon.
As Peter Wall has caught up to Groves. So Groves is up into third, still yet to pit. So I think Fake Knee he's got the right idea here. Pit earlier than these guys. So his pit stop, it would have been fuel only. It's going to be interesting to see where these guys pop out in these next 5 minutes.
They probably can't take tyres now, these guys. Because you're probably worried about getting eliminated. So that leaves Frost in fifth, the leader of the cars that have completed the mandatory pit stop. Looks like his car's undamaged, and as we said earlier, possibly with fairly, well, at least fresher tyres on.
33-second pit stop, so there's a chance he did take tyres in that. So that's the stop time. For reference, Max Gassett stopped for just fuel, and his was only 12 seconds.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we can just about mark that down as certainty. He's changed tyres. And I've been watching East a bit, and he's been very aggressive sliding the car around. I think he's probably just feeling that tyre wear a little bit now.
So Frost is lapping at a 56.1. The guys in front of the field at 56.7.
And a 57.1 for East on the last lap, so
watch these guys come across the line here. 58s, then a 56.5 for Frost.
Wow.
That's all tyres. So Frost is in a great position here to. So even under safety, if these guys pit after the safety car, I wonder they can actually pit during the safety car. So.
Not to complete the mandatory pit stop, though, I think. Is that right?
That was my impression, that they couldn't do the mandatory stop during the safety car. Groves has continued on, so he's in third. He's got a train of very experienced drivers behind him. Frosty's got tons of pace. He's doing a very good job of holding his position.
Certainly driver of the day for, just reading some of the comments now. Groves, he's been incredible up to this point. He's still in that top 5, so let's see what he can do. Music racer. BMW can be very heavy on fuel in the safety car period, so need to be aware of that. That's an interesting point.
And that is the big position loss there for Peter Wall. That's going to be crucial. He could have lost that 5th. He's outside the top 5 now, as Frost has a go at Groves. And Nando's in with a shot here as well. Peter Wall he's only got just under 2 minutes left. He needs to get this position done.
Oh, and there it is. I didn't see what happened to Groves there, but we'll slip by quite easily.
Yeah, he just got sidestepped a couple of times. Those first few corners, he's lacked a bit of pace to defend against these guys.
So are we down to the top 5 in 1 minute? Is that correct?
I believe so. But
so Groves may miss out by one position.
Oh, exactly. Gutted too. That was the case.
He's done superbly up till now.
He's had a brilliant performance. Mentioned in the chat, it's definitely driver of the day at Groves. Although Frost is giving him a run for his money.
I would say so. He's 10 or 11 seconds behind the leaders with his pit stop completed. He's looking in a very strong position. Which is not much of a surprise because Frosty has a great knack of picking some of the absolute dogs of the GD3 field in each season on Mondays. His true base is often hidden behind whatever brick he's driving. Don't tell him that we said that about his GTR though. He won't be happy.
He's had some unlucky races this season as well.
Absolutely.
He's been caught up with some dramas and has been in the wrong spot at the wrong time. I'm just wondering, and here we go, safety car is on his way out of the pits. Over the last month, I think this is the longest read he's gone without hitting any grass. He's just sitting outside. He's just waiting to cross pit exit as Weston, just wondering, not too clear on the pit procedures for this one. Does he have to pit at this point?
We're going to find out in 2 corners.
Yes, he does. It'll be, you suspected it would need to be a splash and dash for fuel. He's got to make sure that he doesn't come out behind Fake Needs. Fake Needs the next car out of this group that's pitted in this segment of the race. So Matt Frost takes the lead. So these guys can't take tyres. these guys
take... race back... Sorry, mate. Does it race back to the safety car? When are we calling it?
So it's... yeah, so everyone can race around to the safety car at this point.
And it's the final 5 next time they cross the line, I'm assuming.
That's correct. So Peter Wall and Groves haven't pitted. Stimson hasn't pitted. Weston and East are in the pits at the moment. Just watching both of them here, waiting to see how long they'll be in the pits. Weston's dropped, he's out. So that was a 35-second pit stop. So he's taking tyres there.
He's in front of Fagney.
So Fagney had a 37 second pit stop. So I wonder if that was an issue with...
I got to say, I'm a little confused here. So we got Frost, Latanzio, Wall, Groves, Vanderlei. No, we just had a few cars pull over, so no, disregard. Oh, so it must have been. It's the top 5 the lap before JJ. Now that's why they're pitting. Now they've secured that top 5. Is that maybe what's happened?
Yeah, that is what's happened. Yep, so that's the elimination of these guys. So that'll be Haggis, Groves, Fakeney, Vanderlei. So of these guys that are still on track, so Peter Wall pulls off, goes to do his pit stop at this point. Haggis is out and Fakeney are out as well. So the last 5 drivers for the last 10 minutes. Matt Frost, Nando Latanzio, Mitchell Weston, Michael East and Peter Wall, who's just finishing up in the pits. He's getting his mandatory pit stop out of the way.
So we do have Weston and East on fresh tyres.
Smart move by those guys.
So this is really anyone's, I don't know who my money's on actually at this point.
Tough track to pass, 10 minutes.
Thinking Frost, with track position here, he might just be able to skip away and it might be enough just to work a couple of second gap.
Was very quick in that period then.
And the other one's East. I think East did use his tyres quite hard, so East on fresh tyres, he could tear through the field quite quickly here.
So I think we're just waiting on Peter Wall to get back around, unless... No, it looks as though the safety car has taken off. So throughout that period, there's only 3 minutes left. Got to finish the race under green. I think Michael Massey's given the orders to to the safety car here. Bit unfortunate for Peter Wall. I think he'll be doing a Toto when he gets back to the pits. As Matt Frost is off. Here we go, a couple minutes left. Be enough for 2 laps. Can he hold them off for 2 laps? Pieces looking pretty racy on Western early.
Western went slightly defensive into turn 1. He's got a good run out though.
There's a couple laps. It's probably not long enough to get the tyres up to temp, really get them in their working range to make a big difference over the 2 in front.
Frost has already skipped away a couple of car lengths.
They're going to be towards the back end of this lap. Oh, Nando just grabbed the sand. Oh, and Weston's up the inside and then contacts.
Oh, he's run wide, he's off.
Oh, Nando, that's unfortunate. It's that bit of contact just before the braking zone. And that's him out of this one. For the moment, anyway. Gives Weston a bit of breathing room ahead. Try and get this gap as East runs wide himself.
That's cost him at least half a second there. He's going to struggle to make that back now.
It's all up to Weston here, I think. It's 1.3 seconds. I don't know if he's going to have enough in those tyres to make up a second and a half. They're saying that he's just made up 0.3 through the chicane.
He's not leaving anything on the table.
Leaders on final lap now.
So he's got 1 lap here, fresh tyres, they're up to pressure.
So since the chicane, he's made up that half a second.
Very deep into one, he got the apex.
Catching up to Frost very quickly here. It's 0.8 of a second.
Got it down to 0.4 now. Just needs to hit all his braking markers, don't overrun any apexes. Getting a decent tow now.
It's the Western quickest lap of the race in the previous lap. 55.7.
Problem is, there any passing spots left? I'm not sure.
No, I'd say there isn't.
Not without a mistake. Although there it is. Frost bad run out of the Schumacher S.
Oh, Weston went for a dive. Probably wasn't the spot for it. He lost a lot of ground from that then.
He tried to bluff Frost there. Frosty wasn't falling for that.
Oh, Frost with a big. He's lost it. He's lost the lead. Oh, no. After all that.
Bit squeezy Weston though.
Oh, Weston takes the
What
win.
a performance.
Oh, what an unbelievable finish. I was just about to say all that Frost needs to do is get through the chicane. He's grabbed too much of the curb.
Never want to grab too much of that sausage.
He's grabbed a whole heap of that sausage. And he gave Weston a sniff, and Weston has taken it. Oh, what a performance! What a great finish! It's a great concept, something different. Well done to Neil Fakeney, James Reed, and Nando for coming up with this concept. It's very, very well done.
That
And
was a fantastic ending.
Reed's got his best performance of the season, finishing 6th. Oh, that's just something exciting. Came up with something different. 2 laps at the end. See, it makes it pretty amazing racing when you go to green flag running to the end.
Absolutely.
I think Reed's having a good bit of fun with that GT4 car.
He was having a little bit of an expression session earlier on. Back to the pit lane. I think there must be ladders and black cats appearing in Frosty's VR, I think, because not of any luck.
Oh, it's such an unlucky season. I actually really feel for him because he'd done such a good drive through that middle session.
That was a great last lap though from Wheezy. He put the pressure on and capitalised.
Exactly, led the most laps. Great performance from Groves as well, when East was right with him. But
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining me, Lucas, and good luck for the rest of the season. Looking forward to
Thanks,
watching
mate.
you take the battle to those couple of
The
guys.
Bentley Brigade.
Yeah, exactly.
See
There's
what we can do.
a good bunch of very, very quick drivers throughout the league. Oh, look, that's where I'm used to seeing Reed this season.
There we go. That's his natural habitat. The sand trap.
He's going to enjoy watching this one back. Thank you all for watching. We look forward to round 7 next Monday night from Alton Park. It's going to be a great race, tricky track, championships on the line in all 3 classes. Looking forward to it. So, thank you, Lucas. I'll see you on track next week.
Thanks, JJ. Thanks all. Good evening.